Hello everyone, welcome back again. So as you know that we are doing Indian literature series and we took the novelist Mulk Raj Anand. So in the earlier video we have done 25 one-liners that are very essential for all your TGT and PGT examination. So here I am again back with the second part of the important one-liners. The important thing about this one liners are that it is novel based questions, right? You know that sometimes the questions are like asked very deep. You have to guess the lines of the particular novels as well as the character. So this part 2 is totally based on the novels of Mulk Raj Anand, right? So let's start. So the very first question is, who calls Coolie a character novel? So who calls Coolie a character novel? And it was said by Edwin Murray, right? Second question, so these lines has been given. So I regard untouchability as the greatest blot on Hinduism. This appears in Untouchable. You know very well that Untouchable is the very famous novel of Mulk Raj Anand, and he got inspiration from Mahatma Gandhi to write this novel Untouchable, right? So who said these lines? So these very famous lines has been said by Mahatma Gandhi. Next question, again some lines has been given here and you have to identify who said these lines. So the lines are, if untouchable is the microcosm, Kuli is more like the microcosm, that is Indian society. So it is said by K.R.S. Iyengar. Next question, this is a story of a married village woman, Gauri, who is ill-treated by her husband and mother-in-law, but she fights against it and finally goes to the city to lead an independent life. Find out the novel. See, the background of the story has been given and you have to identify the novel. So the novel is The Old Woman and the Cow, and from this question you came to know that a character Gauri, so the character Gauri appears in the novel The Old Woman and the Cow. So whenever you read, just relate the questions to each another. You will get different kinds of questions, right? Multiple questions from one phrase you will be able to get. Next question is, who narrates the story Private Life of an Indian Prince? So who is the narrator of the very famous story The Private Life of an Indian Prince? And the answer is Dr. Shankar. Moving to the next slide, let's see. The next question is, so again something has been given here. This is a kind of a autobiographical novel, right? It is an autobiographical novel which expresses Anand's experiences in the first 7 years of his childhood. Very important question. So the name of the novel is Seven Summers and it got published in the year 1951. We can say it like that also, that the autobiographical element present in the novel of Mulk Raj Anand is Seven Summers, right? Next question is, who is the mistress of Ananta in the novel The Big Heart? So the answer is Janki. You can remember this question like that also, that Ananta the character in the novel The Big Heart, as well as Janki is the another character in the novel The Big Heart, written by Mulk Raj Anand. Next question, a phrase has been given, I am a rat, right? This appears in a very famous book of Anand. The book is The Private Life of an Indian Prince. Next question. The village people humiliate the hero because he gets his hair cut against Sikh religion. Who is this hero and in which novel does it appear? So the answer will be Lal Singh, and the novel is The Village and got published in the year 1939. See, from the single question you are able to get so many questions, like these lines are from which novel? So the novel is The Village, got published in the year 1939, and the character Lal Singh appear in the novel The Village. So you just relate all these questions to the novel. Next question, very important. Lal Singh is taken as a prisoner of war by the Germans in which novel? See, in the earlier question, the ninth one, again there is a character Lal Singh, but the reference is different. In the 10th question, again the character Lal Singh is there, but he was taken as a prisoner of war by the Germans, and the novel is Across the Black Waters, got published in the year 1940. Right, moving to the next slide. See, again the characters has been given here, like Lalu, Churanji and Ghuggi appear in which novel? So the novel is The Village, got published in the year 1939. Next important question, Mulk Raj Anand had written a trilogy. So in his trilogy, what are the novels that appeared? So the first is The Village, second Across the Black Water, third is The Sword and the Sickle. Next question. Mrs. Mainwaring is an Anglo-Indian lady. She appears in the novel The Coolie, got published in the year 1936. So do remember that Mainwaring is a character in the novel The Coolie, and the novel Coolie is quite very much renowned novel. Next question. Who is the owner of a pickle factory in Daulatpur in the novel Coolie? So in the novel Coolie, there is a appearance of a pickle factory, and the owner of that pickle factory is Seth Prabhadayal. Next question. Munu, the hero of Kuli, works as a servant in the hours of Mrs. Mainwaring. He pulls her in a rickshaw, he becomes weak day by day and dies in Shimla. He dies of what? So in this question you will get various types of questions, like who is the hero of Kuli? The novel Kuli has been written by Anand, and who is the hero, who is the main character? So the answer will be Munu, right? And Munu work as a servant under Mrs. Mainwaring. What does Munu do actually? He pulls her in a rickshaw, and he becomes very much weak and also died in Shimla, and because of his illness, and he was died because of tuberculosis, that is TB. Moving to the next question. So see, the lines has been given, you have to identify, and you will see that from these lines you are able to drag out the different kinds of questions, so do listen it carefully. This novel of Anand presents the pathetic conditions of the laborers in Assam tea plantation. Gangu with his wife Sajni and the daughter Leela goes to the tea plantation. Their Rigi hunt is attracted towards Leela, who runs to the hut when she is followed. Gangu comes out and becomes the victim of the fire of Regi. So this is the background of which novel? So the very famous novel is Two Leaves and Bud, got published in the year 1937. So several questions arose from these lines only, that which novel of Anand present the pathetic condition of the laborers in Assam tea plantation. So this is the background of the novel Two Leaves and a Bud, which denotes, or we can say it displays the pathetic conditions of the endangered laborers in Assam tea plantation. And the characters are Gangu, Sajni and the daughter Leela, and there is a character Rigi Hunt, who is quite attracted towards Leela and try to molest her, right? So these are the characters, do remember. Next question. Above all there is Mulk, the man who thinks too much, loves too much, works too much, laughs too much, argues too much, travels too much. So these lines has been said by K.R.S. Iyengar regarded to Mulk Raj Anand. Again, theme based question has been given, some background has been given. See, he is the main character. He claims descent from an ancient Afghan family. The heads of the Afghan family were the noblemen and councillor in the court of the great Mughals. He has tiger moustaches. He cannot tolerate when the village shopkeeper Ramanand turns the tip of his moustache upward. He is ready to give his household goods and even cattle to the Baniya Ramanand, only to see his moustache in the goat style, which is appropriate for a baniya. So the background of the story has been given, and the background is from the novel A Pair of Mustache, and the character is Ajam Khan, right? Next, A Kashmir Idol and A Pair of Mustache give the two glimpses of feudal society. So these two story gives a glimpses of, it displays the feudal society. Next question. Anand torrents of wrath present the pitiable condition of a poor untouchable Raj. So this untouchable Raj is Sukhi in the novel Untouchable. Right. Next question. Background has been given. This is the story of a woman who tries to flee to her father's home to escape the brutal and sexual advances of her brother-in-law Jaswant. but she is rescued by a woman who helps her. This woman is, so the name of the woman is Lajwanti, or we can call it Lajo, and the novel name is Lajwanti. So we came to knew about the characters, that Lajwanti as well as the Jaswant appears in the novel Lajwanti. Next, again the background has been given. He is the barber boy who wears the clothes of a doctor. The village elders, including Vijay Chand, the burly landlord, do not like it. They threaten him, but the barber goes on a strike and wins in the end. He organizes a barbers' trade union and breaks the age-old custom of going to the houses. This character appears in the barbers' trade union. His name is Chandu, right? So the character appear in which novel? Chandu. So the novel is The Barbers Trade Union, written by Mulk Raj Anand, and the highlights of the story has been given. So you please do read it again. Next question. The Cobbler and the Machine, A Dog's Life, The Parrot in the Cage, Duty, The Gold Watch, The Liar, The Barber's Trade Union, A Pair of Mustachios, The Lost Child are the some works by Mulk Raj Anand, and the work is and falls under the category of short stories. Next question. Yes, why not let the natives run their own show? It is their country and we have really right to it. Who speaks these words in Mulk Raj Anand novel Two Leaves and a Bird? So these lines has been spoken by Dr. John D. La Havre. So do remember that the character Dr. John D. La Havre occurs in the novel Two Leaves and Bud. And the last question is, from which university did he earn PhD degree in philosophy? So in this question we are talking about Mulk Raj Anand. So he earned his PhD degree in the subject philosophy from the Cambridge University, right? So that's all for today's lecture. As you can see that in this video I have just comprised the most important, we can say the background question based on the novels of Mulk Raj Anand. These questions are very much essential. Definitely this video helps you to know about the character as well as the background theme of the novel. So you can easily identify the novel's line as well as the character. So that's all for today. If you like this video, if you found it worthy, please do like, subscribe and comment. Thank you so much.